can share at a time. Advanced sharing, okay. Okay, yes. So this is Cliff Tom. This is the second recording. Now I'm waiting for Eric, and it is about 3 minutes past 2, and it's January 21st, 2022. All new features here with Zoom. So I'm trying to share. There you go. Okay. There we have it. Boom. Got it. Okay, where's Eric? Yeah, I already did that. Lock it down. Okay. How do I get? This is so weird. There, get rid of that. Okay. Okay, where's Eric? You'd sent me this. Oh, there you are. Ah, nice. All right. Yeah, you did do this. Okay, cool. All right, so let me minimize this. Yeah, I got a new Apple laptop. So it's really, my other Apple laptop was about 8 or 9 years old. I needed a new computer anyway, but I didn't want to get it stolen. Right? But so now this one's really fast. So I'm getting used to the speed here. So, all right, so let's pull that up. Get rid of that. We don't need that. All right, Eric, let's see what you did. Come on, man. Oh, there you go. All right. That's pretty professional. Good job, Eric, with this. All right. So yeah, good. Excellent. Academic writing. So these are just some of the examples that you'll have in your writing, right, when you take the IELTS exam. So the question, right, was the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education. Let me make it bigger. I'm getting blind in my old age here. All right, the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain, in England, in 3 periods, and whether they were studying full or part-time. So summarize, right? And again, IELTS is a British-based exam, right? So they don't spell it with the Z. Americans, we spell it with the Z. So summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Excellent. So this uses a little objective information, right, with the chart or the graph, but in the end, you need to analyze it, and it's relatively subjective, but you're using the information that's given to you, right? So go ahead, Eric. Please read what you wrote here.
Okay. The bar chart compares the changes between British men and women in further education in 3 periods. It also indicates whether they were studying full-time or part-time. Through all the time, the number of people that were taking part-time education was exceedingly more than the full-time one. In 1970 to 71, there were about 10 million males studying part-time, which were 2.5 million more than the number of females. But in 1980 to 1981, the number of males fell by 50%, while the number of females kept rising. By that time, there was slightly difference between the number of males and females. In 1990 to 1991, the number of females stopped declining and the number of males stopped declining and the number of females grew dramatically.
Excellent, very good. What can I? Yeah, I can edit this too. What's your theory, or why did you break it up in one 2, and 3. Why did you, what were you thinking when you did this?
So for the first paragraph, I just want to say what we can find out from the chart, and in the second chart no paragraph, I'm trying to say that whether it's 1970 or 1990, through all the time, the number of people that are taking part-time education are a lot more than the full-time. So it's like the bigger part, and then in the third paragraph, I break it. So I mainly look at the part-time one, and I see it in 3 periods from males and females. Then in the fourth paragraph, I just indicate the full-time one, and in the fifth paragraph, I make a conclusion.
Right, excellent. No, it's very well written. There's no explicit there's no explicit instructions, right, on how to write it. So
Yeah.
meaning, I've tried to teach you the classic 1-page essay format. So you could either have done that. This one, right, it's pretty cut and dry, right? Just your England claw,
Yeah.
right? Meaning it's very easy. You just need to look at the numbers and then analyze it and also, right, explain it. So for me, I don't know, I just would have condensed it all into one paragraph, right? Visually too, like I said, for Western, for Asian cultures, especially Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, right? It's characters, right? And in Cambodia, it's written like different script too, right? Different languages have different script. But
Yeah.
for Western readers, right? So you're going to be the person that's going to look at this is most likely going to be English or British, like myself, right? That will be from England. So they're used to reading, right? So again, excellent. You did Times New Roman, and generally 12-point is the standard. Although, oh wait, Eric, I didn't even see that, man. Oh yeah, excellent. All right, sorry. We'll read that too. Times. Okay, so that is generally would be the standard. Now I don't know, especially if this virus keeps on going, but you're far off from taking the exam, but I don't know if they're doing handwritten nowadays or if they allow you computer time to type it, right? But if they allow you computer time, this would be the standard to make sure it's Times New Roman, and I would do 12. You could also ask, right? They're pretty friendly, that you would say, what type of font, right? So this is a font collection. So they would ask you what type of font, or you would ask them, what type of font would you prefer, right? And then this is the size, right? So you could ask them before you even begin to type. So the way this is, I think it visually, it looks better in one block. So in one paragraph, right? So I can read this. So with the development of social economy and the improvement of people's living standard, more and more people are getting further educated, right? We'll go into how to make it sound better, right? So women have time to study, comma, right? Generally a comma, but because the burden on their families is lightened. Okay. This tells us that men and women are treated equally nowadays. Okay, well, let's just go through this together then. So I'll just read this again. All right, the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain in 3 periods and whether they were studying full-time or part-time. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so we've got the men on one side, female on the other. full-time education. Oh man, spinning on my computer. That's not good. Full-time education is dark, and then part-time is lighter. Okay. And then if you read that section, men and women in further education in the thousands, right, is the what is that? The y-axis, right? And this is the x, and then we have female over here, and then these are the years. So now I see why you wrote it like that. That might be, I didn't even know that. So this might be a British thing, because in America we would generally either do that, or or to 1970. So that's maybe just a British thing. So that was pretty good that you adapted that, right? That style. Hold on a second. So that's good. Okay, so the bar chart compares the changes between British men and women in further education in 3 periods. Just a heads up, right? I'm not a fan of ending or starting, right, with prepositions. So how could you incorporate that into the sentence to make it sound better?
So I think I'll put it as the bar chart compares the changes in 3 periods between British men and women.
Excellent, very good, right? But then we're leaving it off with this one. Right. So let me try to change it up to make it sound better for us. So the bar chart compares, I would say, and you could always, if you're going to use a preposition, try to use it at the beginning, right? So I would say in 3 periods, right? 3 periods of continuing education, continuing. We never had the benefit of spell check when I was younger, Eric. So you really had to get to know the words, right? So in 3 periods of continuing, okay, continuing education. The bar chart, I would say the bar chart compares the changes between British men and women, right? I think that sounds a little bit better than what you had, right? And again, I'll send this to you in Ding Talk, right, when we're done here. So again, that's 12. All right, the second sentence, it also indicates whether they were studying full time or part-time. Now, I'm not big, I guess the way they phrase this here, you can adapt that because it's really not wrong. But I'm also a fan of the lowest common denominator, meaning making it like short and sweet, just your Englantoise, more slang, right? To make it condensed and to the point, right? So I would say it also indicates whether they were studying full or part-time, right? And maybe you could use a comma, but probably not, right? So that because it's just redundant. Yeah, you know that word, redundancy, meaning you're saying it twice when you don't have to, okay? So in 3 periods of continuing education, the bar chart compares the changes between British men and women. It also indicates whether they were studying full, or you could do comma, right? Full or part-time, okay? So through all the time, the number of people, this is generally not said that way. How would you rephrase this to make that sound better or to make it more clear?
So I'd say from which year to which year in the chart.
Okay. Or you could just maybe say throughout. Right. It's just, just as your English is already fabulous, but as you learn more and more words, it become easier to like place them, right, in certain areas. So throughout, the number of people that were taking part-time education was exceedingly more than the full one. How could you rephrase this to make it sound better? Let me give it a go here. So throughout, the number of people that took, or were taking, or took part-time education exceeded more than the full time ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 1970 to 71, this might be a British thing. That's interesting. So in 1970 to 71, there were about 10 million males. Is that true? I'll believe you on that. Okay, yeah, all right. 10 million males studying part-time, which were 2.5 million more than the number of females. Okay, that's good. This is really good. But again, of, to, in, with, those are prepositions. So how would you, where would you incorporate that to maybe just tweak it to make it sound just a little bit better?
So I would say which were 2.5 million more than the females number.
More than, yes, good, right? More than female, or just more than females,
Yeah.
right? Okay, let me just keep reading. You notice how I keep reading like over and over? And this is what I said, it's a good practice. Well, not even when you have the IELTS exam, right? So you take this and then you do what we're doing to help it make it sound more better. However, when you have an assignment, you know, for you in your English class to write, like homework, then you can, you know, this is good practice. You put it away for like a day, like say you have 1 week to do a paper, you know, don't think about it for 2 days and then reread it, right? So in 3 periods of continuing education, the bar chart compares the changes between British men and women. It also indicates whether they were studying full or part-time. Maybe we don't need that comma. Throughout the number of people that took part-time education throughout, break, pause, comma, throughout, the number of people that took part-time education exceeded more than the full-time ones. That's okay, that's good. In 1970 to 71, there were about 10 million males studying part-time, which were 2.5 million more than females. Yeah, good, okay. But generally, you do not start a sentence with but. So what would be another word for but, Eric?
However.
Yes, perfect, exactly. So, however, in 1981, then you don't need this comma. However, in 1980 to 1981, the number of males fell by 15%. Let's see, do they put a percentage, right?
No, so I just calculated it.
Yeah, well, that's good. No, that's good. I'm not questioning your the math, your analysis of it, right? We're just going through the English style. I'm a little bit dyslexic. I always put the percentage sign, right? So this is the percentage sign. So you don't need this. Fell by 15%. Let me ask Google though, because sometimes I don't know if it's at the beginning or at the front. Do you place? I should speak to Google. Where do you place percentage sign?
Yes, I think it's.
Yeah, always. Percent sign before or after. As you can see in previous examples, the percentage sign always comes after number. Yeah, right. Okay. You see, I'm dyslexic. I've always that's why I'm not good at math, Eric. I always do it backwards here. All right, hold on. All right. So, however, in 1980, 81, the number of males fell by 15%. You may not need the comma there.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in a habit nowadays of using many commas, but all right. However, in 1980, 81, the number of males fell by 15%, while the number of females kept rising. Excellent. Very good. All you needed to do is change that 15%. Okay. And then here, I'm pretty sure they're going to turn off the autocorrect. If you're allowed to type for your IELTS exam, they're not going to have this ability, right, to change that. But okay, so by that time, that's good. By that time, there was slightly difference between this is just a grammatic yifu, right? Just a yifu see, that's a grammar. So how would you change that to make it the tense, how would you change that differently?
So I think there were slightly differences.
There were slight differences.
Yes, slight differences.
There were slight differences between the number of males and females. Excellent. That's another good sentence. In 1990 to 91, the number of males stopped declining and the number of females grew dramatically. That's a very good sentence. Good job on that one. For full-time education, the number continued going up. Eric, this is very good, man, because you're using different words. And that's going to be part of, especially for the IELTS, they want to see how many words you use correctly, right? When you're, whether you're speaking or writing. So you're using different, like going up, increasing, rising. So this is very good. Excellent job, this one, man. All right, so for full-time education, the number continued going up from less than 2 million to about 3 million. Another very good sentence. So here we go. It showed us a trend of increasing rise. Redundant, right? To say increasing rise. That's like saying a decreasing down, right? So how would you change this to so it's not repetitive? How would you change this?
So I would just say it showed us a trend of increase within both males.
Yes, it showed us an increasing trend.
Increasing trend.
An increasing trend within both males and females. Yeah, sounds much better. Okay, with the development of social economy. With the development of social economy and improvement of people's living standard, more and more people get further educate. Yeah, that's just more. This is just tenses, so grammar tenses again, and then women have time to study. Okay, so how would you change this to make it sound better? This sentence.
So do you mean I need to change the tense?
Yeah, change the tense. I would change pretty much. You know, you can keep the meaning of the sentence, right? I think the meaning is good. I understand it, but how would you change it to make it more clear?
So I think for the front part, I wouldn't change, and then I would change more and more people are getting further education to more and more people are getting further education now.
Yeah, how does this sound? How about you just all you need to do is really switch it. Right, so hold on a second. So I would say as more and more people get further educated, due to developing, I don't know, yeah, due to developing economies, as more and more people get further educated. Maybe I would do this, so switch it. Due to developing economies, comma, more and more people are getting further educated. Thus is a good word. Thus improving people's living standard, right? Just a little bit better. I think so, you know. Okay, and then finally, since this is basically a block essay, what would you think you would want to end? Like, how would you want to start the last sentence?
In conclusion.
Fabulous. I was just thinking the same thing. Or you could say in summary, There's many different ways to end
Yeah.
an essay, right? So in conclusion, comma, women have time to study, have more time or increasing time, more time to study
Yeah.
because the family burden has been lightened, right? They're not expected to
Yeah.
take care of the family, has been lightened as they used to be. Oh, actually, that's not in conclusion. That's not the last sentence, right? So sorry. So
Yeah.
or I would say nowadays, women have more time to study, comma, maybe, because the family burden has been lightened. There are, in conclusion, good. This tells us, excellent, right? Using the pejorative, using we, right, and us. So in conclusion, this tells us that men and women are treated. Oh, we already use nowadays. So what's another word for nowadays? Let's go to our trusted thesaurus, right? I don't think you're going to have this benefit on the IELTS, but this is right. Like I say, that it helps you with your grammar to go here. So these are some of the words, right? So current, begun, being, coeval. Well, I don't even know that word. Commence, contemporary, instant, modern, prompt, started today. How about currently? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Currently.
Yeah, that works. So currently, or you can also do increasingly.
Yeah.
Increasingly, comma, women have more time to study because the family burden has been lightened. Yes. In conclusion, this tells us that men and women are treated more equally nowadays. Okay, let me just read this quick. So in 3 periods of continuing education, the bar chart compares the changes between British men and women. It also indicates whether they were studying full or part-time. Throughout the number of people that took part-time education throughout, you have to write, that's how you read it. You have to make it right. Throughout, the number of people that took part-time education exceeded more than the full-time ones. Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. Maybe we could do something a little bit better, but that's all right. All right, in 1970 to 71, there were about 10 million males studying part-time, which were 2.5 million more than females. Yes. However, in 1980, 81, the number of males fell by 15%, while the number of females kept rising. Yes, that's okay. By that time, there were slight differences. Bad grammar.
Differences.
Yeah, differences between the number of males and females. In 1980, the number of males stopped declining and the number of females grew dramatically. For full-time education, the number continued going up, yes, or you could say growing or going up from less than 2 million to about 3 million. It showed us an increasing trend within both males and females. Excellent, that's a very good sentence. Due to developing economies, more and more people are getting further educated, thus improving people's living standard. Okay, increasingly women have more time to study because the family burden has been lightened. That's good. In conclusion, this tells us that men and women are treated more equally nowadays. All right, let me save that. I'm going to send it to you. And good old Ding Talk here. I miss my WeChat, but okay. Comparing, contrasting.
Yeah.
Where do I send this, Eric? You're smarter than me on the internet, man. How do I send? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And okay, send desktop. There you go. Perfect. Okay. I thought we'd do something funny. Do you remember, or not funny, but more fun today? And then you'll pick an assignment, and another IELTS reading assignment for our next session. But you remember it was, in the book you read about discrimination, right, and prejudice. So this is about Martin Luther King. Do you remember him? Do you know?
Yeah, I knew him. So he gave a speech.
Yes, excellent. So here, oh wow, man, look at it. I love the new Apple. The way it's pretty cool the way it's designed here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. How do I make this bigger though, man? Come on. Eh. Can you read this here? How do I make this bigger, brother?
So I can see it, but it's
Yeah.
a little bit too small.
Okay, let me oh
Yeah,
maybe
that's
better.
there
Okay.
on the
Okay.
top of it.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
that's
ahead
it.
and yeah, just read everything. Nonfiction, go ahead.
Nonfiction test features Martin Luther King, Jr.
Oh,
Text
junior, right?
features,
Wait, hold on, Eric, right? So in English, when you see this, it means junior,
yeah, Junior,
right? You say junior, and then what if it's SR? What does that mean?
a senior,
Hmm? Excellent.
senior.
All right. Yes, go ahead. Please read.
Yeah.
Continue reading.
Text features help a reader navigate a text by offering more information about it. Examples, illustrations, photographs, captions, maps, charts, graphs, headings, tables of contents, directions. Read the passage below, then answer the questions on the following page.
Okay, let me.
Martin Luther King,
Wait, so hold on, brother. Yeah, I'm just gonna
yeah.
scroll up for you. Okay, go ahead.
Martin Luther King Jr. is famous for his role in the civil rights movement.
Civil, right? Civil,
Yes,
civil, right? Okay, good.
civil rights movement. He believed that everyone should be equal. He worked hard for that. He fought against discrimination. Discrimination is when a person or a group of people are treated differently. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. He grew up in a time when things were not fair for everyone. The laws that African Americans did not have the same rights as white people. There were separate schools for African Americans kids and white kids. They could not go to the same schools. Restaurants also had rules that separated African American people and white people, beliefs and actions. King believed that African Americans should have the same rights as white people. He believed that people should be treated equally, no matter what color skin they have. He believed in protests and resistance. He did not believe that violence was the answer. He knew that it was important to stay peaceful so people would listen. Martin Luther King Jr. boycotted. He refused to buy products or services from places that didn't treat him fairly. He marched. His marches made people think about discrimination. March on Washington. In 1963, there was a civil rights march on Washington, D.C., called the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. King became very well known after the event. King made a famous speech at this march. This is called the I Have a Dream speech. Around, uh, so let me,
Yeah, you're right. So right,
yeah,
yeah, right. So it's thousand, and then how?
250,000 people
Yes, excellent, good.
marched and heard his speech. In the speech, he spoke out racism. He wanted it to end. Racism is the poor treatment of violence against people because of their race. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about things being better for African American people. Martin Luther King Jr. won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. That same year, the Civil Rights Act was passed. It banned many types of discrimination. Martin Luther King Jr. worked hard to bring about change in the United States. Today, people still work for the equality he spoke out.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so what were the instructions again? So text features, navigate and text by offering more information. Okay, so now just yeah, here are some graphs that help you the timeline. Okay, MLK is the nickname given to Martin Luther King Jr. MLK, where he graduated from. All of this helpful information. The march on Washington. Okay,
Yeah.
so then here is the assignment. Okay, we know your name and the date. All right. So nonfiction. What is nonfiction again, Eric, versus fiction?
So fiction is what you think about it. So that's not true, but nonfiction is true events happen in the history.
Yes, perfect. Right. Basically, right. So nonfiction is truthful, more truthful. Fiction or being fictitious is fake, right? Or it's not
Yeah.
true, right? Excellent, very good. Okay, so text features help a reader navigate in text by offering more information about it. Same as above. Okay, directions. Answer the questions by writing complete sentences. All right, we don't have this luxury. We do actually, Eric. We do, right? If I'm not mistaken. In our chat. There you go, Eric. All right, brother. All right. So in the chat, answer the questions by writing complete sentences. Okay. So I'm also going to give this to you. Hold on a second. To see if you need to pull this up to help answer. I'm going to give it to you in Ding Talk as well. I don't know if you can pull it up. Hold on a second. Okay, come on, Cliff. All right, hold on a second. Where was it? In the worksheets. Hey, which one? No. Oh, I gave you all the worksheets. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm gonna just give you one. Wait, hold on a second. Cancel, man. What's this? What's this garbage? Deny. I don't know. It's application. Oh no, deny. I don't know. Not the screenshot. Hold on. All right. So send. Where was this? Was this? There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
So I sent it to you there, and then let me pull it up again. Oh, no, not that one. I also for maybe another session for us. All right. So here we go. Ooh, okay. So there you go. In the chat, go ahead and take a couple minutes and try to answer 1, 2, and 3. You think you can do that?
Okay.
All right, brother. All right. Oi. Just let me know when you're done, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh no, right. You can write it, Eric. You can type it in our chat, in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, you don't need to type it in Ding Talk. You can just write it in our chat, right? You know where that's at, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. The reason I gave this to you, right, it was Martin Luther King Day this past week, right, his birthday, which is a national holiday in America. Okay, so number one, that's pretty good, Eric. So what information does the sidebar show? Sidebar shows us his whole life at the place where he gave the speech. Perfect. That's very good. All right. Yeah, just number 2 and 3. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Right, and this is whenever you see a picture, right? So these are called caption.
Yeah.
Caption. Excellent, very good. So Martin Luther King Jr. Gave a speech about discrimination. Oh, discrimination. Yeah, I understand. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
I understand that.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I know it's hard when you on on typing on the chat. In Washington D.C. in front of 250,000 people. That's good. That's all right. Good, good. All right. Yeah, just one more. What do the headings tell the reader? What do they tell us?
Oh,
All right. So the headings tell us his contributions of fighting against racism due to skin colors. Excellent. Very good. And remember, Eric, when you're taking the IELTS, you want to add a U, right? Because it's British.
yeah.
Right? So try to add the U. Very good, Eric. All right. You can do part 2 if you'd like for homework. If you want to do it, that's all right. All right. Let's do good job, Eric. That's really good. Let's do IELTS. Where's my trusted? I sent you that link.
Yeah, so it's up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, here.
Yep. Okay. So let's pick one. All right. So this is always good. Maybe I'm gonna try maybe buy one of these. I think one of these. All right. So I'll sample letters for writing in the writing task 1 within the exam. So here's a collection of sample letters to help you prepare for the IELTS writing task 1 for the general training paper. Students taking the academic paper will not get letters for writing task 1. All right, the IELTS sample letters below are a range of personal, semi-formal, and formal, which are all common within the task 1 of the exam. Okay, so we have a letter of instruction. You've just spent a week with a friend on holiday, right? British people say holiday. Americans say, Eric?
Vacation.
Yes, very good. All right, so when you go home, you realize, right? Again, British with the S, Americans with the Z, and
Yeah.
British, they also say Z. They don't say Z, we say Z. So you realize you had left your wallet there. Write a letter to your friend in your letter. Thank your friend for the holiday. Explain that you left your wallet, so forth and so on. You know me, man, I'm always like, well, what would you like to do, Eric? But I don't think you're not going to have a choice on the IELTS exam, right? So I think we should just prepare, maybe, you know, do all of them as our sessions go on. So let me cut this out. Hold on a second. Yeah, all this whole new system with Apple with makes it. I'm learning this as I'm going, right? It's new to me. Hold on. Oh, I want to go to utilities. There we go. Okay, and this is a new screenshot here too. Okay. All right, and then capture. And then I'm going to send it to you in Ding Talk. All right, please, Mr. Cole, for our next section, do this IELTS writing. What? Wait. Send. Yep. Desktop. Screenshot. Nope, that's mine. Yep, there we go. All right. Send. Yes. Okay, and let's do, we've got some more time left. So I want to do, I know, yeah, you don't, or you do, or you don't. Did you get a VPN? You don't have a VPN, right, Eric? No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
I don't have it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right, so we'll do, what was it? What was this topic called? I just read it, just sent it. Letter of instruction. So how to write, good old trusted YouTube, how to write an IELTS task 1 letter of instruction. See what good old YouTube has. Yes, informal letter. Yeah, so there's many things. Right, again, if you know, if a VPN, right, so you can do all this studying, maybe your parents, maybe you can get one, you know, like when you have 6 months to the year that you know you're going to do the IELTS, it's always helpful. YouTube has many good, helpful, you know, instructors to guide you. Formal letters, writing task 1, instruction letters. Let's just do something quick. Writing test, write a letter to me. This will be good. All right.
Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to film with you this exciting video where you will see how I write an essay, mainly the IELTS General Task 1 letter. Yeah, that's going to be a general video. So if you need the academic IELTS, you will have to go and watch another video of mine, which is going to be linked here when it's up. Also, please, throughout this video, don't mind me looking down because there is my laptop and I'm going to write the essay that I wrote for you. And here on the screen, you will see all of the sentences coming and, you know, maybe I will highlight something, maybe I will give some comments, but for you, the essay is going to pop up here. Also, remember that as always, you can download the PDF transcript of this lesson from the link that is in the description box down below. Why is this so hard to say? The description box. I always struggle saying that for some reason. Okay, so
it's sometimes good to get instruction. Hold on. It's sometimes good to get instruction from non-native English speakers or non-native language speakers, right? Because the student can empathize, right? Can relate. So she said she has something in the description box that we can download. Get my unique materials and behind the scenes stuff. Oh, here you go. All right, perfect. So I'll send this to you too for self-studying.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I? open English. Oh, she's Russian, actually. That's good, man. Her English is pretty good. Let me download it. Okay. All right, let's see what that has to say. Save on desktop. Okay, let's see, Eric. Where was it? Okay. So here's the essay that I wrote. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, the way she wrote it, again, she's not a native speaker. She probably took the IELTS exam as well. But here, I'll send this on to you in DingTalk too. Okay, well, chum. Desktop. General task. Oh, I did it twice. Didn't need to do that twice. All right, there you go. All right, let's just watch this video and then that'll be about it. So hold on a second. Watch the rest of her. Ruska, Russian. Okay.
Is your child is going on a 3-day school trip to another country. The head teacher wants to find parents to go with the group and you would like to go. Write a letter to the head teacher. In your letter, say why you would like to go on the trip. Suggest what you could do to help during the trip and ask other questions about the trip. So, before we begin, let's quickly recap what is needed and required from you in the task 1 on IELTS writing. You must write an essay or a letter in this particular situation in the response to a task, which we have already read. You have to write at least 150 words, but it is normally advised to write not more than 200. You should spend around 20 minutes on this task, and this task weighs 1/3 of the whole writing module on IELTS, because the whole writing module is given 60 minutes, and this particular task takes around 20 minutes to finish. You will be assessed in 4 different areas. That's first, task achievement, how well you fulfill the task that is given to you. Second is coherence and cohesion, how easy it is to read your essay and understand what is going on there. How logical is the whole progression of your essay? Third is the lexical resource. How well and to the point you use your vocabulary, how wide your vocabulary is, and maybe what common or not common words do you use. Remember, it's very, very crucial to use as many synonyms as possible. Do not repeat the same stuff over and over again. And lastly, the grammar range. And here you are assessed based on how well you use your grammar, how many different grammar structures you present, whether your sentences are complex or not, and whether you mix different kinds of sentences. It's not very great to use only complex sentences in your essay or letter because no one talks like this, right? We have in our speech both quite short and plain sentences and complex ones as well. There are 2 main types of the IELTS General Task 1 letter, and that's an informal and quite formal letter. To distinguish between them, you have just to look for the word friend in the task. If the task specifically implies that you have to address your letter to a friend, then it's an informal letter. And when there is no friend mentioned, then it's definitely a formal one. Okay, let's start from the structure. In this letter, the first thing that we should be thinking about is the greeting. And for this one, I chose Dear Teacher, which is the most appropriate. Trying to address your teacher as respected sir or respected gentleman or lady is, of course, not the most appropriate thing. So please, when you are thinking about the greeting, try to assess how well you know the person, who the person is, and how you should address them so that it's not offensive or just inappropriate. After we addressed the person, we kind of proceed to a small introduction. And in the introduction, the first line is usually a friendly, nice intro line that kind of sets the nice tone of the whole letter. And then we usually kind of showcase what the whole letter will be about, and we give the hint or we introduce the topic while we are writing to the person. Then we kind of go through the bullet points of what we should address in our task and conclude everything again with a nice line and our name to sign everything off. Okay, so dear teacher, thank you for the initiative to take the children to such an interesting trip. I am happy that the school supports our kids' desires to experience the life abroad. I am writing to you because I figured that my annual vacation starts the same day as the journey, so I'm able to join you. In fact, I have been dreaming of visiting Paris for ages. So this is our introduction. You already know that we chose the Dear Teacher greeting because it's the most appropriate one. Then we start off with a very nice, friendly line that shows our kind attitude to the person we are writing to. And we started from, thank you for the initiative. We thank the teacher and the school for this nice thing to bring our kids to the trip, which we of course appreciate. So this kind of sets the whole tone. Obviously, this can be very different. You can ask, how are you simply, or you can say, I hope you are well, I hope your business is going well, or something like that if you're writing to another person. Then we're getting straight to the point of our task. And the first sentence here is that I'm writing to you because I figured that my annual vacation starts the same day as the journey. So we kind of explain why we are writing the letter. Also, pay attention to the words that I've chosen here. I use figure, that is less common than realize, for example. Also, I use the annual vacation, and beware that the synonym holiday may just be out of context here a little bit. So being very attentive with the synonyms you use is something that makes you stand out from the other applicants. Then in the last sentence, I write, in fact, I have been dreaming of visiting Paris for ages. And here I use the present perfect continuous tense and the idiom for ages, which gives us points for the grammar range. Now, let's get further to the second paragraph, and I write there. Fortunately, I can take care of a couple of practical things. For example, I am quite good at cooking, so it will be not a problem for me to prepare some snacks for our bus commute. In addition, I will be happy to think of 2 or 3 board games for children to keep them entertained while covering long distances. So at first, I start the sentence with fortunately, and that's a link in words. Pay attention that in this paragraph, I start every sentence with a linking word. That is very, very nice for our cohesion and coherence. My first sentence, which is I can take care of a couple of practical things, kind of introduces all of the next sentences and creates a bit of a coherent storyline here. Then I use I'm good at cooking, and this collocation to be good at again gives you points for your grammar range and for your lexical resource. I also try to substitute the common word trip with the bus commute, just not to repeat myself. And lastly, I use the passive voice to keep someone entertained in my last sentence. Okay, and the last paragraph here covers the last bullet point of our task, and it is, I hope I will be of great help to you during the trip. By the way, there are a couple of questions I would like to ask. Can you please clarify, is the accommodation in Paris included in the price we paid for the trip? I would also like to know if this is necessary to bring towels, or are they provided in the hotel? See you soon, Darian. So this is how I finished the whole letter. Let's break this down. We use the first sentence, I hope I will be of great help to you during the trip. Again, just to show our good intentions, because that is a letter and it's a personal one. Then we move to the last part of the task and we just move to the questions basically. We use the sentence, by the way, there are a couple of questions that I would like to ask as a link to the next sentences. And next, we just have 2 questions about the trip. We use passive voice in those sentences. We use the word accommodation that is a little bit higher in the level. We use the modal verbs. Can you please clarify? And I would like to know, those are modal verbs that give you points for your grammar range. And we sign off the letter with, see you soon. That's a friendly, quite appropriate closing line here. And just my name, Darian. So this is how I wrote the whole letter that fulfills all of the 4 requirements for the writing task on IELTS. Let's recall them all together. They are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammar range. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope this practice was useful for you and you will use it, of course, to make your IELTS writing tasks better and more improved. Remember to download the transcript of this video.
Yes, we did. All right, Mr. Kong, what are you going to do this week?
So I think I will finish the letter and then I will start reading the next book.
Yes. All right. Excellent. Did I give you the next book? What book are you going to start reading?
So its name, let me look.
Okay.
Its name is The Owl Service.
Okay. Did you send that to me on the email?
No, so I just sent you the last book.
Okay. Can you send me your new book on email?
Okay,
I haven't-
okay.
Okay, via email. All right, brother. Excellent.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're free, just let me know. Try to give me at least a day notice, okay?
Yeah,
For our next session, okay?
okay.
Okay, brother. Okay, have a good day. All right,
Yeah,
bye,
you
Eric.
should
All
the
right,
same.
bye-bye. Bye-bye, man.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
goodbye.
Bye-bye.